Okay, I got another video for you guys about Andrew Wilson, about him debating about rights again, right? I did a video on him before about him debating the atheist, and I understand a lot of people got mad because I didn't explain myself, and I get it. So I'm going to do things different this time. This time, I'm going to put things up on the screen that you can see, explain in detail what's going on, so that way you guys know that I'm not just talking, or it's not just an opinion, it's actual facts. All right, now you guys are gonna see, and it's understandable. I get why you guys are upset. I understand it now. In my head, I see it as common sense when it's really not common sense. So I was expecting for you guys to see what I see and know what I know. The reason why y'all don't, because y'all haven't practiced like I did. I've taught myself in philosophy, apologetics, all that stuff. So I'm able to see things most people cannot see. But I'm going to start teaching you guys, showing you guys how I've come to my conclusions. So follow along. And I'm actually building a course, guys. I'm building a course. So if you guys want to take this course, it's going to better help you understand how to think logically, right? It's going to teach you how to reason and how to find these things the way I'm doing it. Before we get started, can you please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell, the notification, all that good stuff. This is going to help my channel grow. I can't do it without you guys. It's going to push my videos out there so that people can see what truth actually is. But anyway, let's get into the video now. Let's get into it. First, I want to lay out the foundation for you guys. Why? Because he claims to be a Christian, right? And he says that rights don't exist. This is not a Christian belief. We Christians believe that rights exist and duties exist. You can't have one without the other. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up on my screen. Here we go. I'm gonna show you guys. Let's pull it up. I put, does the Bible say we have rights? I already know all this, but I'm gonna use research that I did to help explain it to you guys so that way you can understand. Yes, the Bible implies that humans have God-given rights because all people are created in God's image. See this? Which bestows a fundamental dignity and value. While the Bible doesn't use the modern phrase human rights, it lays out groundwork for this concept by establishing universal moral principles and obligations. Okay, I'm laying the foundation, guys, and then we're gonna get into it. This is it as rights is entitlement, absence of duties. It's completely made up. And the first time I heard it, I could not stop laughing hysterically. I could not stop laughing. I couldn't help myself. And it makes no sense. We're getting into it. So I put, is there any worldview where people believe that rights don't exist but duties do? And it says right here, from everything I know, no consistent worldview actually holds. Rights don't exist but duties do. Here's why. Atheists and the secular humanist view as rights and duties are both seen as social constructs, both a right and a duty. This is what atheists believe. Things societies invent. So if rights are made up, then duties are made up too. They rise and fall together. If you say that rights don't exist, as somebody who believes in God, a Christian, then by definition, duties don't exist either, because they both go together. Now, here's the Christian worldview. Both rights and duties come from God's. Rights are what people are owed because they're made in God's image, and duties are the commands given to honor those rights. Again, you can't have one without the other. Do you guys follow me? You follow me? This is a secular and atheist worldview. So for him to be saying this is not Christianity. He's abandoning God's moral standard, jumping to other worldviews, making up his own stuff, pulling from everybody's worldview and making it his own. Let me give you some examples of what rights are. Here are some. You shall not murder, right? Affirms the right to life. You shall not steal, affirms the right to property. You shall not bear false witness, affirms the right to truth, justice. No one should lie to harm you. Honor your father and your mother, affirms the right to family, structure, and authority, right? You see the pattern? God's law doesn't just tell us what not to do, it also protects the rights he gave us. See what I mean? All right, now let's get into the video and we're gonna break it down slowly so you guys can understand where I'm coming from, all right?
Government enshrined protections are not real. Rights that as we know them, are just things that we recognize as things of value to us. So for instance, I usually define it as simply, you have a right to speak freely. If you're in the middle of the woods and you're buck naked, you can say whatever you want. You have a right to keep in bare arms. Pick up a stick, sharpen it, pointy stick, you can defend yourself. Ain't no one going to stop you. The question is, when you get into conflict with someone else, where is that line drawn? So the reality is, rights are recognized as things that we can and must do to survive and maximize potential.
I think rights are force, and I think that...
You think rights are force?
Government
rights are
protections.
What do you mean rights are force?
You're talking about government
No,
protections.
I'm talking about period. I'll explain what I mean. A right, to me, is an entitlement absent duty. That's a right. Okay, you're entitled to it, but you have no duty.
What does that mean?
It means that you have it. So, like, okay,
An entitlement to speak.
Yeah. So if you have a right to own a gun,
To speak.
no, hang on, let me finish. If you have a right to own a gun, do you have a duty to own a gun?
But do you have a duty to speak?
No, you don't
start
have a
with the
duty
First
to
Amendment.
speak.
If you have a right to vote, do you have a duty to vote? The answer is
right. So
no.
it would be an
That's
entitlement.
that's your argument.
It's a
Okay, this makes absolutely no sense because I laid the groundwork for you guys. Now you see. Are you seeing the connection now? So what Andrew is doing is pretty much trying to argue what Tim Pool believes in. He's like, they're not real. Tim Pool's pretty much saying, yes, they're not real, but they're force. And he's like, no, but they're force. It's the same thing. The debate is completely useless. Him and Tim Pool trying to argue the same thing just in different ways, right? And they say here, do you have a right to own a gun? Do you have a right to speak or something? I'm going to tell you why that's funny. All right, let's pull it up on the screen. Let me put my glasses on for real quick. Now, I told ChatGPT to help me explain this to you guys. Why is it so funny? I typed up, why is this confusing and hilarious at the same time? Christian, if you have a right to own a gun, do you have a duty to own a gun? The opponent, do you have a duty to speak? Christian says, no, you don't have a duty to speak. Can you please help me explain to my audience why this is stupid and funny at the same time? Okay, here it goes. Okay, so here we go. It says, imagine you're watching this debate, right? The Christian says, if you have a right to own a gun, do you have a duty to own a gun? Opponent, do you have a duty to speak? No, you don't have a duty to speak. Why is this confusing and funny? They're treating rights and duties like they're the exact same kind of thing, but they aren't. A right is permission or a claim. I can own a gun. A duty is an obligation. I must do something. The Christian tries to make the question about gun ownership sound serious. Then the opponent flips it to talking or speaking, which is completely unrelated but strictly the same thing. The punchline. The Christian then says no to the new question. That's funny because logically the structure of the argument is identical, but they act like it's totally different. There you go. Bottom line for your audience, it says this. Their argument circles using the same logic in completely different ways, which makes the debate pointless, confusing, and unintentionally hilarious. Okay, I'm hoping I'm explaining to you guys. I'm trying to explain it the best I can. They're arguing in circles. It's the same logic. The way they're thinking is the same. They're just trying to argue it in different ways. Let's move on.
Until you can't.
The question
until somebody stops you with force.
So you're talking about government restrictions are made up by us as a people.
Just people can adhere to your rights without any form of government. If you're walking down the street and you speak, and a guy turns around and smacks you in the mouth and breaks your jaw, right? He has now used force against whatever this right you think you have to speak. You have no right to do shit except whatever you can enforce. Right. Your mechanism is force, and the mechanism against you is force.
And so,
all right, forensic right to be able to do. Like, where does this idea come from other than you axiomatically kind of just say, you say because I can do something, I have the right to do something?
It's part of a evolutionary biological structure that resulted in the survival of humanity.
So if I like grab a spear and I can stab somebody with it, I have a right to?
No.
It's not the same thing.
So the way I view rights would be things that, and again, there's a debate over what rights are.
Yeah, let's start with that. What are they?
No. So there, it's honestly difficult to define, but it is certain moral structures or.
I would say axioms. Would you agree with that? Just an axiom. So like, you have inalienable rights from God according to the Constitution. This is an axiomatic principle. It means this is our like philosophical starting point is that we have these.
I would put it as things that were required or greatly.
Did you guys notice the jump between worldviews on this one? He's saying that rights are an axiom. Rights come from God. Do you see what I mean here, guys? So he just backed out on his whole logic. He just backed out on it. So now it's not force. Now it's because it's given from God. And then now he says it's given from God because that's what the Constitution says. So now he's putting it to force. You see what I mean, guys? You see the jump? Do you see the jumps? Let's look up. What does that mean? It means that right exists inherently just by the nature of reality or human existence, independent of enforcement. Wait a minute. I thought rights were force. You don't need anyone to enforce it for it to be real. So this is what you call a word switch. This is what I also am going to be teaching in my course. He switched words. So first he switched a right, took that away, replaced it with force. Now he took the force word, threw that away, now replace it with this word. Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? You can't use these other words to mean the same thing. It doesn't work that way. This is a word change. Now it's not force. Now it's because it just exists. Because it's real. I hope you guys are starting to see and realize what I'm saying now. I would like to see your guys' comments. I would like to see what y'all got to say. Please comment on the bottom. Let me know what you guys think. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. For you guys that disagree with me, do y'all finally see what I'm talking about? Can y'all see it coming to light? It's an honest question. If not, that's fine. That's fine. But at least you know, you guys, I'm not making this up. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one.